Hello, everybody, and welcome to TRW, which stands for Thunder Raceway, I think. For the country stocks, we're going to have two 30-lap races, and it's all brought to you by the Jeek Squad. Now, here is Kaz Freshy.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome to TRW. This is the 10th week of the DWRL country stock season, and we're going to take a look at the points right now. Points leader, leading by 10 points, is Kato Kendrick, number 88 car. Like I said, 10-point lead over Suku Ming. She sits in second. Those two have basically checked out, and the championship is basically up to those two at this point. Sorry, it's 5 points, actually. Kato has 31.35. Suku has 31.30. Third place is Fok Rao with 29.15. Fourth place is F. Fred Koolhoven with 27.75. Fifth place is Sapphire Cyberstar with 24.68. And looking down here, Hemiliver Sock is in sixth. Kibo Monroe seventh. Luisito Avon eighth. Subwoofer Fur ninth. Zaria Falconer 10th. Candy Tomorrow 11th, Uracha Jewel 12th, Bill Padallo 13th, Mishi Rossini 14th, and Artemis Fate 15th. And so 5-point lead going into the night, 2 races as usual. We did some heat races to figure out the lineup tonight, and the winner of heat race number 1 was Suku Ming in number 98 cars, so she will start on the pole for that. And alongside her will be the other local dog racing machine who won heat number 2. That's Fok Rao, the number 6.
And in row 2, we have on the inside F. Fred Koolhoven in the SS Galaxy Ford for FK Autosport. And in gate 4, we have the 111 vehicle that is really hot, and it's Sapphire Cyberstar.
Row number 3, number 0 is Luisito Avon. Alongside him is Subwoofer Fur in the number 97 blue and white car.
And rounding out the field in gate 7, after some problems in his heat, it's Kato Kendrick.
All right, the heat is on here at TRW. This track might remind you of a place in Tennessee called Bristol. That's what it was based off of course, as we go green into turn number 1. Looks like Suku Ming's going to get the advantage. She leads 3-wide battle for second at turn 3.
Very intense right now.
Suku leads, and they're still all stacked up for second. Looks like Luisito and F. Fred Koolhoven have popped out, and they're battling for second at the moment. As Subwoofer and Fok Rao got in trouble in the back of the pack.
Yep. Luisito Avon is making everyone in Mexico proud right now.
Yeah, he sure is. You're running a high line and making it work. The best he can. Here comes F. Fred on the inside. That high line rubbing up against the wall like that is going to give him some damage, so it's going to be fast for a little bit, but not very long, as we see F. Fred take second now, and here comes Kato Kendrick working his way up from last position on the grid. More about that in a second, up to third right now.
And F. Fred finished second last week, so I think he's ready to improve from that second place and maybe win. Oh, but he's about to lose his second place to his teammate. And he does.
That's right. He takes a peek on the inside. Looks like Kato's going to have the momentum, and Kato Kendrick up from 7th place to second so far in the race. Suku Ming's got herself a pretty big lead. Looks like a quarter of a lap over Kato right now.
Yep.
And, but before the race, Kato has some real issues in the heat race. Of course, we did the heat race tonight. We had some extra time with the DWR schedule being finished. And, had some serious technical issues in his heat. Had to start back.
Might have been some fuel injector issues.
It could have been. We're not sure. We'll have to interview him after the race and find out with our new microphones.
Yes.
Yeah, and all right. Looks like Suku Ming continues to hold her lead. Let's take a look at the clock here. Yep, 2.4 seconds. Third place is F. Fred, 4 seconds back of the leader. Fourth place continues to be Luisito Avon.
Uh-huh. I'm impressed.
He's having a good run. The damage, not that much of an issue for him, it seems. Seems if he can be fast enough to overcome that damage, he's going to do it. Of course, he's one of the teams with shall we say, not the kind of equipment that the other teams have on their track.
Yeah.
So he'll
Not
take
a
him
lot of
away
wind
again.
tunnel time.
Right, yes. Take a look back up front. Lap 13 goes by at a 30, almost at the halfway point. Looks like Cato's gaining a little bit, but not very much. They seem pretty even up front.
Suku could be playing it safe. You never know. I know as someone who's led before that I sometimes get complacent in the lead and just try to stay out of trouble. Do you do that, Kaz?
It depends. Yes. Every race is a different scenario, but yeah. Once you're out front, you tend to just go at 90% instead of 100. Sure, I'm a big fan of that myself. So.
And maybe a track like this with no inside walls, you don't do that as much.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about sticking.
That's right. All right. Back up front, looks like take a look at first and second now. Still 2 seconds. Everyone's getting pretty spread out at this point, which, this track is based on Bristol. It's a very wide racetrack, though, a little bit wider than Bristol would be, so you got a lot of room to operate. And I'd like to say, too, that everyone in this race got a ton of practice today, so we're going to see a much better race, I think of that because of that.
Yes. And there's a lot of banking here, more banking than we're used to seeing lately in DWRL. So it's a little more forgiving in that way, too.
It's like the best battle on the track right now is for fourth. Luisito Avon having a really good run has it, and Fok Rao has caught up to him a couple times. He slammed the door and just basically going all out and getting a word from the officials that there might be some excessive wall riding on Luisito.
He does seem to, on the exit of the turns, use it as a crutch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's doing exactly that. So we'll see. Results of this race when it finishes will be unofficial for sure.
Yes.
And we'll let you know after the break what happens with that. So, but for the moment, Lucido is fourth, and Suku Min continues to lead. Cato Kendrick in second, putting a lap on the 111 of Sapphire Cyberstar. It's like time up front and distance between first and second, 1.75 seconds with 5 laps to go now in race number 1. So this would, if they finish as they did now, put Suku Ming back in the points lead.
Yes. And the lead is not shrinking enough. At this point, we only have 3 to go. So,
yep,
that's pretty good for Suku Ming.
Laps click off pretty fast here, just like the real Bristol, with the 12-second laps.
Just a little bit faster than real Bristol.
Yes. And 2 laps to go now for Suku.
The lead is down to 1.5, but the white flag is out. I think
Suku's going to have some traffic ahead of him. Looks like he won't get to them in time, so he's going to have looks like a clean lane to the finish line.
And there it is.
Suku takes the points lead and the win. Cato Kendrick in second. Fred in third. Yeah. Here comes a great battle for fourth on back. So Luisito's going to hold off Subwoofer and Fok. Of course, those results are unofficial. And, great racing. Good track. And as we said last week, or actually Monday on the DWRL broadcast, that this track was voted for by the racers on DWRL.net. So good choice. And, we'll set them up again and come back for race number 2.